Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt. It is the RYLA Routine. It's Sunday. It's episode 15. And for episode 15, we thought we would go way back in the vault with a young man that's been at camp since 2013, not as a camper. But everybody knows how excited uh, the Hancock children are when it comes to RYLA. And I thought, you know what? We're going to give everybody a real quick sneak peek into what makes camp exciting for the youngest people at camp. So the oldest of the youngest people at camp is Maddox. Maddox, how old are you?
11.
11, right? So right, Tracy and I started running camp in 2012. And I remember the CIT and chief meeting maybe like Friday or Saturday night. I think it was Friday night. Um, I had this amazing moment at camp where I think if you heard the RYLA routine with Aaron, you know that we had one of our RYLA campers from previous camp pass away in the Joplin tornado. Um, Will Norton, and as a part of that, there's just a group of people that were like a group of kids and campers. There was only a few of them that really understood what was going on, but needed a moment to kind of this moment of belonging and first time being together outside of that horrific event that happened to Will. Um, Unfortunately, first time those guys have been together since then. And so this event happens. We're sitting there on Friday night, and we were about to leave the gym. And again, this is my first year running camp, so not really knowing what's about to happen or what's going to happen. We leave and we just turn on music like we would when people were leaving the gym, but we turn on "We Are Young" by Fun, and all of a sudden, every camper kind of stops and pauses because there's a group of CITs and chiefs that are up on the stage together, and these are all Will's friends basically, people that knew Will, and it's kind of the moment, and all of a sudden, here's all these campers. Around these CITs and chiefs. Typically it's the CITs and chiefs leading the campers and supporting the campers, and this was the other way around. So this happens on Friday night. Go back to my cabin, and I just tell this group, like how special that was, and like it's that group in 2012 was going to do something amazing. Well, at the same time, I told them, like I can't wait for my kids to get to see this because I think this is what youth need to see. Great youth. They need to see youth empowering each other and supporting each other, and that's a big part of what we do at camp. And so, here we are 11 years later. And, Maddox has been at camp since 2013. And I was joking with him yesterday. I was like, what's your earliest camp memory? And he's like, what's that mean? I was like, well, he's like, I don't remember being born. I was like, no. Like, what's your earliest camp memory? So what's the first thing you remember about camp?
I remember since I was 5, every year wanting to go on the high ropes. I would
Oh,
always ask if I was big enough, or I don't remember if it went by height. I always asked if I could go on high.
yeah, he did. Like always gravitated towards high ropes for some reason or another. Um, he talked yesterday about about the tunnel being an early memory too. What about your first time you saw the tunnel?
I wanted no part of that.
No?
I don't want to say I was scared of it, but I want to say I was. What's the word for this? I was. I didn't want to do it because it was so loud and so energetic.
Okay.
I wasn't necessarily scared of it though.
Did you end up doing it?
Yes.
How did did somebody ask you to do it
I
or?
think Bethany did it with me.
Yeah, Bethany did it with you. Okay, so yeah, you guys know, we've talked through 14 episodes like that. The initial getting out of the car, freaking out, like what the world's going on, and that tunnel does create that. So I definitely we've heard that from 18-year-old, 20-year-old young men and young ladies. Um, when it comes to the first day of camp, you've got Rylomania, you've got all the ride that pony, all those things, all those team building things. What's your favorite part of day one?
I mean, I like Rylomania.
What about Rylomania? What makes Rylomania great?
Just like all the tribes competing and watching them play all these games that are pretty difficult for them to do.
Okay.
And I mean, I also like ride that pony, but RYLA Mania is a lot more like hyped up. First day gets you ready for that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like that's for a lot of you guys, that's that first moment where you get to where you see those tribes mesh. Another thing that happens on the first day is we retire a flag, right? What's that mean when you see that flag get retired?
Um, I mean, I know why we do it, and well, it's to like to almost like celebrate the American flag being there for us. So we honor it in a way. Um, I mean, to me, it's just you're honoring the American flag by retiring it in a respectful way.
Okay, very cool. So on on Friday some things change. People groups start doing low ropes. You got the tribe challenges. I know yesterday you're talking like I said like what's your favorite part of ropes of camp, and you were like high ropes, and I think that's because you haven't been able to necessarily do it, and now you can over the past few years. What's Tell me a little about the tribe challenge. Like, what's your favorite parts of the tribe challenge? Because I know you like the tribe challenge, and I know
I
your
like
sister do too.
skits.
Do you have a
I
favorite skit you've seen over time? There's been a lot, right?
like tribe skits or overall skits?
Overall,
I mean, I always like the lightsaber skits.
yeah. Shout out David Bevan, right? David bringing that lightsaber was really cool, and David and his students over there at Claremore when he had with his martial arts facility. That's always been awesome to see that. What else?
I also like the Far Far Away skit. That one's always fun.
Yeah, best far away skit ever. Rowdy by himself, right? Did it by himself.
Mhm. And then
What did you think about the one more time that Gator did this year? Was it good or was it like, okay, I'm over it?
it was good. Although I already know it was gonna happen, knew it was gonna happen. It was. I really.
Okay. What what would you say when it comes to the skits? Do you have a least favorite one? And there's been some messy things done. There's been some things that like I don't want to do that. Is there anything like that where you'd be like, I'm out?
Always the one like the chef ones. Those are disgusting.
Yeah, we had
Those
a
are disgusting.
like a few years back, Sammy brought up the secret chef with Kyle, right? And then you end up with like peanut butter and jelly, right? That you're out on that. You don't want to get
I
messy.
mean, this what Lucas did. It wasn't that bad, but I still wouldn't want to do it.
Okay. What about what about Saturday? Like you got the high ropes, you got Lego communication, you got low rope still, you got the wall, and then we got dance party. Like what makes Saturday pretty cool?
I like all that you just named. I especially like Lego communication because I get to tell people not to touch it. I get to tell people what to do, and I built one of the sets, so I get to go watch them build it wrong,
Yeah.
and it's it's fun. The wall. That's I've always wanted to go over that for some reason. I've always been fine with going over the wall, which I think the first year that I can remember, I was like, I don't know, that's a bit high for me.
But you went over it, right?
Yeah,
Who and you had to have help to get over it,
yeah.
right? That's one thing with the wall, right? Everybody has to have help to get over the wall, right? What else? What else? Talk. What else on Saturday?
Ooh, I mean, high ropes, of course. I love high ropes.
You know,
Like even just watching people do it, I knew it was gonna be fun. By the time I got to do it,
what's
which
the
I
when it
finally
comes
got
to high
to.
ropes? Like, why? What do you see people when people do high ropes? What do you see? Like, do you see them scared? Or do they help with each other? Like, what kind of things
I
are going on?
I see. Sometimes it's mixed. Most of the time, it's all that people are helping each other. Some people are scared of heights and they're still up there doing it, or they're just pumping other people up. because they're scared to do it.
You see the same stuff on the wall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the wall gives you that same thing too. What about paracord? I don't know. Have you ever seen paracord? Because I know about that's kind of later on Saturday. You typically go to bed, but like I make you guys leave because of agree disagree. But like
We
what
came back this year, and I sat at that security camera and watched it.
what did you see when people did paracord?
So, uh, this spring was one of the longest paracord activities, and
Do
I
you remember
feel
what tribe it
like
was?
I want to say it was boys or
I think it was
flame.
Flame.
Yeah,
It
and
was
no,
Flame,
and
and that was a world record longest ever.
I wanna say the CITs were helping them with it a little bit. So I don't know why they didn't, if they came back as a chief, why they didn't tell their tribe how to do it
Because
again.
they're not supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to
but
tell them. That takes the activity
yeah,
away.
but like they tied an awful lot. That thing was huge.
Yeah,
I mean, the cords were like that long after the knot.
really.
Yes, it was like
If you were a kid, and so like you obviously know the bat behind the scenes. So like let's say you're a high school junior and you get to go to camp. Like, what's the one thing that you'd be like, oh, that thing's that if I can't touch it, if I can't do this, I can't talk, if I can't all those things, how are you gonna what would you be like? That's gonna be a challenge, even knowing the playbook,
you talking about paracord.
all of it. What's the what's the activity where you're like, okay, that's gonna be difficult, no matter if I know the plan or not.
I ooh, I would say sometimes low ropes is a challenge, like with the teeter totter, because it's hard. I try to do it with some other people. It's hard to do that. I mean, I definitely Lego communication. I mean, I play with Legos, but I'd still probably have a hard time doing it.
Well, you can't do it by yourself.
True.
It takes a try. What about what about the opportunities around oh you go through the week and what do you see like if you were like when you describe to people like this is what RYLA is, what would you tell people like because people ask like where did you go for spring break or where did you go for fall break, oh like oh my dad runs a leadership camp, like what do you tell people?
I mean, I tell them that you run a leadership camp and I come with you. Um, I don't necessarily tell them it's a leadership camp. I because I mean I tell them, but like I'm not the one being caught right now.
Sure.
I mean I am, but I just a fun place to get away from fall break.
So it's
To
like
me,
it's Disneyland
yeah,
but cheaper.
yeah.
What so you mentioned like leadership and like you get I mean you do get a little bit of it, like what are the things that think about like not the fun stuff, like what are some of the things you hear like during the sessions with Ron or I mean
He's talked about that shield that I think it's earth, wind, fire, and water.
yeah, so our path elements, right? Yeah.
And I'm think I'm pretty much probably a fire because I like to take over. I like to be the boss.
Okay, but what is it, so think about like leadership in general, like I mean we talk about a new day and like what are some of those things that you take away from that, like when it comes to showing up and being awesome and how you make that happen, how does Maddox make that happen?
I mean, just being the best version of yourself that you can be.
Do you have to be the best version of other people?
No.
No, right? You get to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What are things what's the best version of Maddox look like? What are some values that Maddox has?
Kindness.
Does it cost anything to be kind?
No.
No. Okay, what else?
Helpful.
Doesn't cost anything to be helpful,
No.
right?
Um, So another word. Strong.
What do you mean by
Like,
strong?
Uh, somebody's not gonna say something mean and it affect me and my day.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think is like, what's your absolute favorite part about RYLA? Not being high ropes.
Just how I'm waiting all year to go, so the anticipation, and then like how hyped it is, and how it's always fun to like see how people like with like any activity we do. It's always fun to see how campers and their tribes work together to find a solution to like Lego communication or like solve that problem or something.
If you were put on the spot and you had to pick one favorite person from RYLA,
I knew you were gonna do this.
you get one person.
Crap.
We did not talk about this. You get one favorite person. Like, you know what? When I go back to camp, if I see this person, I'm so excited. You get one person.
Oh no. Oh jeez. I like all of leadership. I knew you were gonna ask this question. I was like, there's Eli, there's Gator, there's Daniel, there's Z, there's Bethany, there's all these other people. There's Kyle. Kyle's okay. But
Kyle's okay.
yeah, Kyle's okay. He's not as funny though.
All right, you get one.
But I
Like if I was
myself,
like, no,
I pick myself.
no. If I was like gonna pick up the phone and call somebody, like, hey, call one person from RYLA. Who am I gonna call?
Who am I gonna? Oh, this is tough. I mean, Eli. I don't know. I don't know. Probably Eli.
Why?
He's funny. Gator, Daniel,
Nope.
Eli's
You said
funny.
Eli. Why
Yeah,
is Eli?
but he's the funniest. He he uh he always like if I want to do something with him, he'll most likely do it with me. Or like what's another thing? Like yeah, he's most like I can how how am I trying to say this? He's funny, he's kind, he's good at drawing. I love doing his drawings. Those are cool. He's somebody you can look up to. He's always
I feel like he's always doing what he's supposed to do. Like he's always willing to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. What when it comes to leadership and it comes to camp, what's leadership mean to you?
Well, like they're always there to help CITs or chiefs or help out with the skids or they're there to help and
Can't do it without them,
yeah.
right? Leadership's a huge part of camp. What about chaperones? You got any favorite chaperones?
Ooh. Ooh. I can't remember all their names.
Okay.
I mean, I why can't I think of his name? I can't think of his Tom.
Tom Cobb.
Yeah,
20-year RYLA veteran, Tom Cobb and Gloria. Shout out to Tom. Tom's a good dude.
Yeah.
Tom always makes sure he says hi, doesn't he? He always asks how things are going. Tom's a great guy. Gloria too. Couldn't do RYLA without Tom and Gloria. Be a hard place to be, knowing that 20 years of RYLA for Tom. What a volunteer. And we've only been doing RYLA for 20 plus years, like 25, 26 years. Tom came in early. Remember the Sand Springs Rotary Club? He's in the Sand Springs Rotary Club. What else do you want to say? What do you want to say about RYLA as we wrap this thing up? The 15th RYLA routine.
If you're gonna come back, make it a better RYLA than your last.
Wow, that's hard. Because every one of us was amazing, everyone was awesome, and we got to make it more awesome. That happens with you. So Maddox said it. It's a good point. When you come back, you got to leave things in a place better than when you found them. It's like cleaning your room. Leave things in a better place than where you found it. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. I know I mentioned this yesterday on the video, World Kindness Day. Like we don't have to have a day to be kind. Every day we can be kind. Every day is World Kindness Day. Every moment is about moment to be kind. You never know what somebody else is going through. You never know what moment somebody may need help, may need an extra, attaboy or something like that. We hope you enjoyed about 15 minutes with Maddox on the RYLA routine. Again, I think it's interesting to hear the things that, when you look at it through an 11-year-old's eyes versus that of a 17 to 23-year-old's eyes, the things that they see, the things that they watch, and then so forth. But as a leadership team member, as a chaperone, you guys know that these guys watch everything we do. And they are as much a part of this camp as my kids are, as Tracy and Gary are, as my wife is. I mean, we just can't do it without everybody. Everybody plays a role, like Maddox said, and everybody gets to see a little bit of the script and knows sometimes, but things before they happen. But I hope you have an awesome day. Have an awesome week. Looks like some weather is going to be amazing in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas area this week, and 70-degree weather coming back as we get day by day, one day closer to fall of 2024 at Heart of Hills in October. CIT and chief information will be coming out really soon. Same thing with chaperones. We're going to hit this heavier and faster than we have in the past, so that hopefully we can get folks together for something over the summer. But we hope you have an awesome day. And Maddox, thank you for being awesome. We're going to take heed and talk about cleaning that room piece. Hope you have an awesome day and stay blessed.